Hello students, we started discussions on Unit 1, Electrostatics. After today's lecture, you will be able to explain principle of superposition of electric charges. Now, in the last lecture, we have considered the mutual electric force between two point charges. If I now have a system of n stationary charges, the charges are given as Q1, Q2, Q3 up to Qn. And you want to calculate the force acting on Q1 due to all other charges. Then Coulomb's law of electric force alone cannot give you the answer. In that case, I need to consider principle of superposition. Let us now begin our discussion with a system of 3 point charges, Q1, Q2 and Q3. The position vector of Q1 Q2 and Q3 are given as R1, R2 and R3 respectively. As before, again we consider that all three charges are like charges, that means charges with same sign. In that case, there will be force of repulsion between the point charges. So as before, we consider the vector from Q2 to Q1 as R12 and unit vector in this direction as R12 cap. Similarly, I may consider this as R13 vector, corresponding unit vector as R13 cap. If we now consider force on 1 due to Q2, that will be acting in the outward direction, which is given by F12. Similarly, if we consider the force on Q1 due to Q3, again it will be acting in the outward direction. And the corresponding force is now represented as F13. Okay. So we can easily say that force on Q1 due to Q2 F12 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R12 square R12 cap. When I am calculating this force F12, there is no effect of Q3 onto this force. Okay, so we can say that this force is unaffected. This force is unaffected due to the presence of Q3. Similarly, I am calculating the force on Q1 due to Q2. So force on Q1 due to, now I will be calculating force on Q1 due to Q3. That should be F13 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q3 by R13 square R13 cap. Okay, so this is very simple, and this force is unaffected even the charge Q2 is present, still it is not affected. Okay, so if I now calculate the total force on Q1 due to Q2 and Q3, then that should be resultant of these two forces. And earlier we have learned vector addition of two vectors, no? We can apply law of parallelogram. So I can apply law of parallelogram to find out the resultant force of F13 and F12, and this resultant force is now represented by F1. So we can easily say that total force on Q1 due to Q2 and Q3 is F is equal to F12 plus F13. You can easily write it as 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by R12 square R12 cap plus this force 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q3 by R13 square R13 cap. So this is how you can calculate the total force acting on Q1 due to two other point charges. Now we can extend this theory for many charges, okay, more than two charges, or you may consider a system of charges more than three charges. So let us see how we can extend this theory. So you have Q1 charge. I am considering, say, Q2 charge over here, and this is the separation between Q1 and Q2. So this force can be represented as F12. Again I am considering all charges to be like charges. Say all charges are positive charges. If we consider second charge Q3 and I am calculating the force on Q1 due to Q3, then this should be represented by F13. So mind that this force is not affected due to this charge Q3. When I am calculating F13, this force is not affected due to the presence of Q2. So when I am calculating any individual force, that force is not affected due to the presence of other charges. Okay. So I need to consider the resultant of these two. I can easily calculate. So I am applying law of vector addition, and this is how I am getting this force. Let this force be F1 dash. If we consider another charge Q4 to be located over here, and the force on Q1 due to this Q4, I may be representing this as F14. So let it be F14. So what I need to do, I have already calculated the resultant of these two forces. So now I will be considering the resultant of F1 dash and F14. So if I do this, then the new resultant force will be this. Let it be F1 double dash. You may have another charge Q5 located over here. So again I can calculate the force on Q1 due to Q5. This force may be like this. It is denoted by F15. So what I need to do? Now I need to consider the resultant between this and this. So I have to again apply law of parallelogram. So new resultant will be this. So this is how you can go on adding individual forces. Okay. So now I have considered a system of 5-point charges. You may consider system of even more charges. Okay. So finally we can now say that the total force on Q1 due to Q2, Q3, Q4, say you have n number of charges, a system of n charges, then that should be represented as F1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. When we are considering force between Q1 and Q2, then that should be Q1, Q2 by R12 square, R12 cap. Just recap what we have done in the previous diagram. Then when I am considering this and this, then force on Q1 due to Q3 will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q3 by R13 square R13 cap. Third force, that means Q1 and Q4, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q4 divided by R14 square R14 cap, and it continues. Say I am considering the last term, that will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Qn divided by R1n square R1n cap. So you may simplify this expression as 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. You can see Q1 is present for all terms. So take Q1 common. You have Q2 by R12 square R12 cap plus Q3 R13 square R13 cap. Then Q4 divided by R14 square R14 cap. It continues. Last term will be Qn by R1n square R1n cap. So it can be represented by a compact notation, use of summation. Okay. So that can be written like this: 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1. Then I am taking summation over the running variable. Say I am considering running variable to be I. That I varies from 2 up to n. You can see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to n. So this is represented as I is equal to 2 to n. Then you have Qi. So instead of writing 2, 3, etc., I will be writing Qi divided by R1I square, because you can see I is the running variable, into R1I cap. So this is how you can represent the total force on any charge due to all other charges. Okay. It states that the force on any charge due to a number of other charges is the vector sum of all forces acting on that charge due to other charges acting one at a time. Okay. So taken one at a time, and the individual forces are unaffected due to the presence of other charges. So the individual forces are unaffected due to the presence of all or due to presence of other charges. Okay. So we learned principle of superposition, which states that the force on any charge, here it is Q1, due to all other charges, that means Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5, is the vector sum of all forces. So I am taking vector sum of F12, F13, F14, F15 due to other charges taken one at a time. So when I am considering F12, then the effect of other charges is insignificant or can be neglected. So you can see the individual forces are unaffected due to the presence of other charges. So I am calculating F12, it means that effect of Q3, Q4, Q5 can be neglected. When I am calculating F13, effect of Q2, Q4, Q5 can be neglected. When I am considering Q4, that means F14, the effect of Q2, Q3, Q5 can be neglected, and so for Q5. When I am considering F15, then effect of Q2, Q3, Q4 can be neglected. And finally, when I have all forces, all individual forces, I consider vector addition of all these forces. So this is what principle of superposition of electric forces is all about. Thank you.